Hello, let's talk about Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 1 today. So basically this is a spin-off TV show from the TMNT film Mutant Mayhem that came out in 23. This came out in 24, if I remember correctly, and is, of course, I think a really fun show. Basically, we see the Turtles going on two separate adventures. It's a 12 episode series, 6 episodes, arc 1, arc 2. Their final episode titles are the titles of the whole arc. So part 1 is Rise of the Mechazoid, or Night of the Mechazoids, and then part 2, or arc 2, was the Pearl. So let's do it. Part 1 is basically Bishop is this inventor woman who wants to destroy the Turtles because at the end of the first movie, obviously there was a big mutant rampage, and Bishop, her life's work gets destroyed, and she vows vengeance. So now it is up to the Turtles to defeat her. And I will just say, the animation on this whole show is amazingly gorgeous. Like, it is really good looking animation, and it's impressive how much these character designs look in 2D animation. Like, the humans in particular looked weird in Mutant Mayhem, and you just sort of had to chalk it up to, the style. The idea of that movie was, what if a teenager doodled the Turtles in their notebook? So the humans look a little disproportionate, even though I don't really think that's the right word. They look a little disproportionate. And, because of that, they looked weird. They look a lot better. Like, the humans, particularly Bad Bernie, looks a lot better in this show. I also love Leo and Mikey's episodes, which are, of course, called Leonardo Stands Alone, and then Mikey Does the Right Thing. I think those are two really good episodes, and they showcase, I think, kind of what makes, what sort of differentiates these versions of the Turtles from, like, their perhaps classic iterations, just sort of demonstrating that a bit better. And yeah, it's, like, really good. Overall, I thought this was a really good show. It's, like, number 4 in my overall Turtle ranking. Obviously, you have 2012 as number 1. Number 2 is 03, Rise of the TMNT, Tales of the TMNT. And then at the bottom is, unfortunately, the original 87 show. But, I think that's mainly just because I haven't seen a lot of 87. And I imagine that it's not really going to be super... I mean, it's going to be good. And, overall, a really good show. But it is kind of a show from the 70s. Or from the 80s, I mean. So it's not going to be, peak television. Particularly given its genre. Yeah, but no, overall, this was a really fun show with really great voice acting from both sort of arcs of episodes. And yeah, I really, just loved this show. And it's fun. It's really fun. And the action is stupendous. Really great action. Unfortunately, there are some negatives. I don't really like this version of Bishop. I get it. She's an inventor who gets scorned, so she sort of goes nuts. And I do like what they kind of do with her character, but just comparatively to other versions of Bishop, particularly the 03 version, she just sort of isn't as good. She's not as interesting as 03 Bishop. So Bishop, I just don't really like her as a villain in this show. On that note, Donnie and Rav have, I think, the weakest episodes of this arc. They're both maybe weirdly paced, you know what I mean? And they just feel a bit odd. They don't, the writers really didn't know truly what made these versions of these characters special. So when you divide them, obviously Mayhem was about them as a unit. What are these turtles like as a unit? And this show tried to be, okay, what are they like apart? and it sort of demonstrates, while Brandy Noon, the guy who plays Raphael, is a really good actor, it sort of demonstrates why these characterizations may be a bit weak, separated. Which is weird because Leo and Mikey thrived so much in their individual episodes. But yeah, I just didn't really like, part 1, arc 1 as much as arc 2. So it's just sort of odd, but it's still, like, overall a really great show. That, of course, leads us to arc 2. Forgive me. Brandy Noon, like I said, is a great actor. He plays Raphael in this show, I think, really well. I've also seen him in other things where he's great. And he also did a really good Splinter. In this show, I guess because they didn't want to get a Jackie Chan impersonator, although they did in that Ninja Turtles game that they did that was based off of Mutant Mayhem, called Mutants Unleashed. They did a video game called Mutants Unleashed, which is a spin-off of Mutant Mayhem, and I think they had a Jackie Chan impersonator there. Hopefully in season 2 they fix that. But he plays Splinter, and they do acknowledge it, of course, like every episode, like, oh, that Raph is playing Splinter. But, like, Brandy Noon, really talented voice actor, he does, like, a great Splinter. Also, once again, Leo and Mikey have the strongest episodes in this particular arc. Mikey takes charge, and Leonardo saddles up. Those are really, really good episodes. Although I will say the best episodes of each arc are definitely their final episodes of the arc. So, or the best episodes of the show are Night of the Mechazoids and The Pearl, in particular. But yeah, I really love what they did here with the Mikey Leo episodes. I also really love the villains. The West Side 3 are really fun villains, and they are added to the pantheon of villains who are from these newer shows that I would love to see brought into the proper Ninja Turtle canon, along with Porkchop from Rise and Tiger Claw from 2012, and those are at least just a few of the ones that I want to be seen in other iterations of the Turtles, of course. Yeah, but no, the villains are great, particularly Goldfinch, played by Timothy Olyphant, and longtime viewers will know that I am a actually big fan of Timothy Olyphant. But yeah, like, great show. Great villains, and also great show. And yeah, unfortunately there are still some negatives. Donnie's episode is just kind of okay. I think particularly his side, because they do sort of spread out the explanation of who the West Side 3 are. Like, they do once again explain who these people are, but like they do take like a few episodes to divvy out the information on them, which is of course appreciated. But I do like them. But Donnie, his particular half of his episode that's actually focused on him, just feels a bit weak. I don't know, maybe it's just this particular iteration of Donnie, but like, it did feel like a bit like we don't know what to do with this character quite yet. And of course, Raph, unfortunately, has the worst episode, I think, of the series, or at least of the season, thus far, which is Raph versus Water. He's just kind of in this episode overall written to be like a real jerk who does go on an arc, but like, he's just overall written to be like a real insensitive jerk. And I don't really like the joke of Scumbug. Like, I get it, Scumbug is supposed to be like speaking in crazy jibber jabber, but like, does she have to be like vomiting constantly? Like, I don't know, I just don't get it. Maybe it's a generational thing, who knows. And finally, this is not a negative. I will say I do like April in this show a lot more than I liked Mutant Mayhem's version of April in the film. In the movie, she just, and I sort of talked about this in one of my entries of Letterboxd, April is just kind of really selfish in the movie Mutant Mayhem, which I understand that's a part of her arc and stuff. You know, she grows to be a better person by the end of that movie, you know, because both her and the turtles are acting selfish, technically. But, like, I don't know. I just didn't really like her in the movie. But I like her in the show a lot more. They do a good job at sort of being like, okay, she's gone on this character arc where she's selfish, but, like, let's make her, you know, just kind of sarcastic. Like, let's just give her a whole bunch of sarcastic sass, basically, and it works. You know, she's very dry, very sarcastic, and it's, I don't know, it's a better characterization than in the film. So I hope they continue it into the next movie. And yeah, that's overall what I think of season 1. Please comment below, let me know what you think of season 1. Of course, this is Sunday's video, so please come back Wednesday when we review season 2. But yeah, like, it does kind of suck that this only has 2 seasons, because it is a really good show. I really liked it, and I feel like it could have gone for at least a few seasons, you know, to really expand this world, maybe expand the characterizations of the turtles. I'm very excited to watch season 2, of course. That will be for me tomorrow. And it also kind of stinks that, you know, that Mutant Mayhem is just gonna get like 2 movies, 2 seasons of a TV show, and I guess a video game. Because yeah, this was like, I don't know, like, this was a really interesting turtle universe, and I guess that's the rub. Of course, I love the Sonic the Hedgehog films. I may have my issues with 2, but I do think that it's a really good, great, solid trilogy. And of course, I also really love Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So I don't know. Hopefully, it's a good live action reboot that we are going to get, I think, in 27 or 28. I mean, and of course, Mayhem comes out next year. So yeah, I don't know. Anywho, remember that God, He made you special. He loves you very much. Hope you had a very lovely day. Hope you had a very lovely week, as always. God bless, and see you on Wednesday. Turtle Power.